worrying about who you're reaching, are they using your services, how are they using your services, what is their experience of using your service, are you achieving the outcomes that you're expecting, you're hoping that your clients are wanting you to achieve, should be core to what you do as a business. I think there's still this tension, and there's still a sort of a confusion around the tools and the frameworks and the sort of complexity of impact measurement. So I think for me it's really about boiling it down to some very simple questions about the people that you're serving. And I think that was encouraging in the survey, that we saw a vast majority of organisations are getting customer feedback. And I think that's a really good starting point, because it's that information, it's that connection to the people you serve that I think will drive the understanding of what you're doing as a business, how you can improve.
Part of the challenge is that the question about measure your impact is coming from outsiders, so investors, funders saying, you need to measure your impact, you need to prove to us that you're having an impact. Whereas actually really for no social enterprise, the first question to them is, well, why do we as an organisation want to measure our impact? In fact, the interesting part of impact measurement is using it as an opportunity to understand better are you reaching the clients you thought you were reaching? Are your services really making a difference? So really list out the very simple questions about your business that you want to know more about, and start from that perspective. How do we monetize our social outcomes and put a monetary value on them? And I think that's made a lot of organisations quite fearful of impact measurement. It's become quite alienating from actually the very human role that they play and human impact they're trying to have. So what we would argue is actually, perhaps starting off with a client survey, a structured survey can actually give you a lot of qualitative information, which in itself can then actually be, produced into more quantitative information, but it's an easy place to start.
One of the themes that came through in the report on the survey is that a key part of that is having a sense of proportionality. So making sure that whatever efforts you're making to deliver impact reporting for your organisation are appropriate to the size, the structure and the specific purposes you're doing it for. If you're trying to measure impact to satisfy a funder, then it's cast iron that you really need concrete information to receive payment for your services, for example. Whereas if you're trying to sell a retail product based on some social good that it delivers as well, it may be that the narrative storytelling does more than enough to persuade people to buy your products.
We tend to talk about it in a quite sort of transactional way about measuring and SROI and putting numbers and beneficiaries and people. And actually what we're really trying to get at is evidence of change. And I think evidence of change can come in many, many different forms. It can come in the form of numbers, it can come in the form of stories. And I think we're making it or describing it as something quite technical rather than a core operational task that an organisation should do. It helps you as an organisation get better, and secondly it helps you tell your story better, and those two things can only be good for organisations, especially at the moment.